Okay, Marshall Leach are now 3-0 down. And we're changing the screening match. Tippett Shields, Marshall Leach go to table 1. And Raycon Burton, Day and Hill on 3. Hibbert and Shields, you go through.
Right, good morning again. For those of you that have been tuned in all the way through, you've probably got a good idea of what's happened, but our original match, which was the defending champions, Gareth Hibbert and Dean Shields versus Corey Rees and Craig Marsh, which was due to start at 10 o'clock. We had a situation where one of the players actually overslept, missed his alarm and was late. He was given a good few minutes grace before they sort of started the clock, a little bit of leeway, but once the clock was started there was sort of not a lot that could be done. He actually probably turned up 35 to just about, what time is it now? Yeah, just over half an hour late for the match, and unfortunately the rules being the way they are, you don't get that long. It's 5 minutes for your first frame, 9 minutes you're 3-0 down, and 20 minutes and the match is over. He was given actually a few minutes leeway, so he probably he was a good 5-10 minutes late, but unfortunately that means defending champions Hibbert and Shields are through without hitting a ball. Fortunately for us, we had this match between Neil Rayburn and Andy Blurton, Craig Day and Jason Hill actually had started on one of the outside tables. It's not ideal for players to switch tables between matches, but I quietly asked all four, and they were happy to do so. We didn't really want to leave the stream table blank. We wanted to bring you some footage, and this should be an absolute cracker. It was 1-1 when the match was moved, and since they've been on this table, it's been another 1-1. So we're sitting at 2-2. Craig and Jason look like they've got a good chance for a 3-2 lead. This is an interesting matchup. Probably you'd have to tip Neil and Andy as your favourites for the match, being Neil being one of the top players on the tour, and Andy is was one of the very top amateurs last year, and probably I think in the top 16 ranked in the Open event as well. Just chose to stay amateur. Interestingly, the doubles event is a one pro only per event. But all four of these players, Neil is a current pro, Craig was a pro 2 seasons ago, Jason was a pro for the previous few seasons, but he's given up his pro status, and Andy's pro as soon as this event finishes. So we're in a situation where we've got kind of 4 guys that have or will be pros, but they are well within their rules at this stage. So in the last frame we had a situation where Neil and Andy went for a finish and left an awkward last ball. Didn't get on as I needed to, and we're in exactly the same situation here, but the reverse way round. So good opportunity now for Neil and Andy to get themselves a 3-2 lead. I would suggest they're not going to look at anything other than clearing the table. They yes, they have 2 on the rail, but no problems at all. They're as long as they're careful and get good position on them, they won't be a problem. Possibly leaving the one to the bottom right as the last ball. Anywhere just off straight on that red, and it's just a drop in for the black in the middle, or a screw back for the black in the corner. So I would suggest he probably would like to roll through for the red at the top right here, but depends how he sees it. So we'll be looking to play the next red into the middle after this, and then it's a case of making sure there's a good angle on the red to the top left to get good position. But, I just wonder if there was just a slightly poor contact on that, because Neil wanted another few inches on that shot. Andy's probably just running towards the red, which is not what he wants to do at all. Yeah, you could see he's played it in off the thick jaw to hold the white. If he'd made that centre pocket, then the white's probably just above the bulk line and running a little bit closer to the red, which makes the next shot trickier. But he's played that well, recovered the situation, and one good positional shot from Neil, and it should be 3-2.
Tables 11 to 20 are available for practice at the moment.
So 3-2 to Neil and Andy. This is a race to 7 at a 6-all tie. You go to a blackball shootout, a bit like a tennis set in a way. The blackball shootout, we've already had a couple on the stream. There's been a few in the arena as well. Creates a little bit of excitement, and pressure really ramps up. So as an impartial spectator, it's what I'm always rooting for, but neither of these four players want to get themselves in that situation. So I've just been informed this is the last 32 match. I just popped away to check that. We've got four, well I think three now, as one's been completed. Last 32 matches in the doubles. This session was sort of set aside for clashes yesterday because a number of the players will have been playing in multiple events, the seniors, the main event and this event, and there would have been some clashes in. We kept a session available for matches this morning. So we've got four last 32 doubles matches with the winners going through to the last 16, which will complete the last 16 draw, which will be played at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Bit of a disaster for Craig there. He was obviously wanted to make the pot. That was important, but he would have hoped, had he not made the pot, that he would have at least made it awkward down this bottom right-hand corner. But that red's just bounced off the knuckle and back up the rail, leaving a wide open table for Neil and Andy. No major stumbling blocks. Every ball's got a pocket. The two yellows at the bottom of the table. Difficult to tell if either of them will go into the bottom left. Probably, maybe the bottom one if he gets a perfect angle on it. They probably both go to the bottom right, but certainly one of them will. But they may decide just to bump into them, just to make that fraction easier. Maybe off this first shot. If you catch the, you catch the first one thin, you'll flip them both into nice open play. But it'll be interesting to see how they go about that. Disappointing visit from Neil and Andy. They would have walked to the table expecting to finish that, but not a disaster by any stretch. They've got control of the table because Jason and Craig don't have a great opening ball. They do have one. It's at the top right. Not easy. You'd expect Jason to make it. They'll still have a problem on the left-hand side, but they've got an opportunity to develop that later on in this visit. So another opportunity for Neil and Andy. So no mistakes this time from Andy and Neil. We move with a 4-2 lead. 4-2 lead, and still 3 away from victory. So there is time for Jason and Craig. Not ideal, come up dry. Seemed to catch that break nicely. Got a pretty good split as well, but unfortunately he's come up dry. Looks fairly good chance here for yellows. There really isn't a problem on the table. The yellow by the black just above it goes to the left middle, so obviously that needs to be just careful cue ball control to get on that should they go yellows. The yellow and red, I think the yellow just above the red to the middle pocket, I think there's no issues at all as long as you get there's a pretty big area to play on that ball, so yeah, no real problems. Just need to get themselves around the table in the right way. I'd be interested to see when they go for the yellow above the black. Will they could leave it for their last ball. That's an option. Although I'm there saying it's probably their hardest ball simply because of getting on it. It's not that hard to get on at all. Especially the ball that they'll be using to get on it is probably the yellow to the right hand side. So at the top of the table. So probably clear the four at the bottom, then and move up the table. I don't have the chat facility open at the moment, so if you are on the chat, and hopefully you are, and having a good discussion amongst yourselves, hopefully at some point. Possibly in the next match we'll get the chat open and we'll get some feedback from you guys and see if we can answer some questions. See if we can get who we can get in the commentary box for you to grill. Probably a touch more angle on the yellow to the bottom of the table than would be ideal. And he didn't have much choice there. He just needs to be careful. The red on the right hand side may just come into play on this next shot. He just needs to he'd like to be able to just pop this and just let it come around 2 cushions for the yellow in the left middle, but he could snooker himself using that red if he's not careful. That's just what he's looking at. He's just making sure. Yeah, just put some extra side on that, just to make sure he came on the inside of it. It was a really well controlled shot. So it's actually, if we have a quick look at camera 3, you can see he's actually got quite a bit of angle on this. I think in an ideal world, they'd rather be just a little bit straighter, just to be able to sort of stun back out. I think they would love to get just off straight towards the right-hand rail on the yellow to the top right, but possibly not an option now. They could go up for the yellow above the black off this ball, but unless they get a good angle, getting on the last yellow would be tricky. So it's really how he sees it. Yeah, because of the angle, they have gone. Andy did decide to go up for that yellow. Not sure that would have been their original plan. Maybe it would have been. I don't know. But looks doesn't look ideal angle. Probably needs to punch this in with a little bit of pace and some check side, which actually kills the white off the cushion a little bit as well. So not too bad. He was able just to get through that one nicely in absolutely perfect position now. That was really well played. If he wasn't careful, that one could have got away from him. It just came up the table a fraction higher. And a 5-2 lead. I can't see that clearly enough. It has to go on the top left. Okay, so I have the chat open now. If you've got any questions, then fire them in and see what I can do. I think when the pairings were announced, and Neil and Andy are very close friends and played together a number of times in this format. These are, in my opinion, one of the favourites to win the tournament. They've got very similar styles of game. Neil's one of the very top professionals, one of the favourites for the tournament, in my opinion. And Andy is one of the, he is, I'm not sure if he was ranked #1 amateur or certainly top 3. He's won multiple amateur events on the IPA Tour. Obviously he's turning pro after this season, so this will be the last time this pairing will play in this championships together. But yeah, I mean, this was a very, very strong pairing. We've seen already in this match, just watching it, that there's not too much talking. You're not actually allowed to talk once your visit starts. So what you tend to find in the doubles is that there's quite a long discussion before you play your first shot, and then after your first shot, you're not allowed to talk. Apart from after the break, you're allowed to. You can talk after you've broke, after the break, and then, but then not once the visit continues. But I've noticed Neil and Andy have hardly spoken to each other. Even before a visit, they're pretty in sync with what they're trying to do. Games match up so well. I think this is definitely one of the favourite pairings for the tournament. Someone's asked about Mark Pickworth. He'll be pleased that he's been asked about, but probably not pleased with the timing. I'm pretty certain. I know he's out of the Open event. I'm not sure if he played in the doubles. Thank you for your comments, Andrew. Yeah, I think the arena looks amazing. The table and the lighting, and it's all starting to move forward. Trust me, we're a long way from where we want to get to with the. Oh, that's a mistake from Neil. Just left that short. So big moment for Jason and Craig. They need this frame. Need to get the momentum going. Yeah, we're a long way from back to the arena. We're a long way from the look and the finish we want, but we're making progress. We're slowly but surely just getting there. Personally, I've been working on a few designs for how we could improve the arena moving forward, and I'm sure that will come into play at some point. Maybe this season, maybe the following. We'll see how things develop. But yeah, we're always looking to improve things. But it's good to get your feedback. Thank you, Andrew. John Vaughan, good morning. Nice to hear from you. The feedback from the pros, and bearing in mind the majority of the pros have played on this cloth, and unless they're, they will have been aware that this is coming. The progression was there. We used this cloth for one event, a last man standing event 2 years ago. It was introduced for World Series last year, so all the World Series qualifiers and the destination countries used this cloth. And the feedback's been pretty much the same from the start. Pretty much everyone really likes the cloth. There was initially a few comments regarding they like the cloth, but could argue that they didn't, it didn't play any better than the other cloth. Different, but not better. One or two said that. One or two, there's obviously one or two that aren't a big fan of change. But when you actually ask them about those people ask them actually about the cloth, they're actually really positive and like it. So I think that was sort of in the build up to this event. Since this event started, I've heard pretty much all positive. Really, I've asked as many people as possible, and I'm yet to find anyone in the arena that's played on it that's been negative. I haven't spoken to everyone, so I'm sure there are some. I think the major thing the pros had an issue with just simply was the timing of the change, and whenever we made the change, the timing was going to be difficult because change is tricky and change is difficult, and it is a major change as well. This cloth does play differently, but I think just the way things panned out, we were in a position at the turn of the year, maybe just before Christmas, where we had to make a decision whether to make the change for the World Championships and the season ahead, or delay. We felt that with the tour being 3 weeks away, we felt if we were going to delay, we were delaying till 2018, which was going to give everyone a full year to know. But we just felt that wasn't the right decision. Yes, it will feel quite a short, quite quick notice from a lot of the players, this change, but I think it's 100% the right decision. And I think by the time we get to Cardiff for the first tour event, I don't think there'll be much discussion about the cloth at all. I think already players are just settled in and really happy and like it. So hopefully other organisations will follow suit, and I'm sure many of you will have an opinion on that. But I personally would love to see all major Blackball events in this cloth, but only time will tell. I'd love to see all the clubs around the country using this cloth, and we've already seen a lot of interest from the clubs. A huge number of the clubs, albeit we've been putting in. We've supplied a number of clubs with one free cloth to make everyone aware of what's going on. A lot of those clubs have already made the decision, and I know of at least one club that's already made the decision that's going to change every single table in his venue. My local club is considering it, which is exciting for me. So yeah, it's all good. Chicago Q Sports asked about the timing issue. We get our dates out incredibly early. The issue with the BI Worlds, without wishing to pass the blame to BI, we had our dates out an awful long time before they did. We made them aware of our dates. they still chose to put the clash in, which made it very difficult for a huge number of players, and I think both tournaments were affected, our British Open and their World Championships, but probably their tournament was probably affected probably slightly more by quite a large number of the top countries, top players decided to stay on the IPA, and a number didn't, of course, but we don't want to see clashes. We want to work together. Kev's very keen, our chairman Kev Barton, he's pushing to sort of have a calendar that everyone's working from, to make sure these sort of clashes don't happen. Of course there's always going to be clashes, but certainly with the major events across in Blackball, we're trying our best to make sure there's no clashes. Well, John's mentioned about the would it be hard wearing in a club, so last as long. We expect that it will probably be slightly better in the wear. Probably it's certainly one of its major advantages is the upkeep. So it only needs there's a pad that just you brush on the table, just rub across the table, that picks up the chalk dust. Doesn't have a nap. It's a hybrid cloth, so you don't need to brush and iron it. Not having to iron it really helps. But only time will tell how hard wearing it is and how long it lasts compared to other cloths. We're expecting it to be better in that regard, but I don't want to make a false claim and say it's definitely going to be the way, but time will tell. That's a good shot from Jason. Yeah, Andrew, that's good. Get yourself down there. It'd be lovely if it's going in today and you're going to have a play on it, then get back on the chat later today, tomorrow, and give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. 164 tricky. So asked why the blue cloth. Why not? What colour do you want to see? My personal thoughts are any colour but green. But I like this powder blue. I think it's got a really good modern feel. I think the balls stand out lovely on it. I think with the way the lighting's set up and everything else, I'm a big fan of this colour. But yeah, it'd be great to get your thoughts on what colour it should be. Neil Toms, yeah, the cloth. I don't know what the cloth costs. Someone else is suggesting £80. I'm not sure if it's 80. It might be 100. I believe it's a fraction. I do believe it's more expensive than either of the sort of major green options, the couple that are out there. But it's marginally more expensive if it is, and that's probably because it's relatively new. I imagine as we move forward, if this takes off like we're expecting it to, then I would expect that cloth to get the price of that cloth to come down, just in terms of the quantity and the way they're going to be able to manufacture it. It wouldn't surprise me if it came down just a fraction. There is a UK distributor, but off the top of my head I can't remember who they are, but I'm hoping Kev will be joining me soon, and if he does, then he can tell you where you can get your hands on the cloth. Ashley, great question. Yeah, we'd love to get some more spectators to the events. The events in Cardiff, it lasts for 3 days, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's free entry. Just turn up at the hotel. Let me just get my calendar up and see if we can figure out what dates they're on. I think off the top of my head, it's the 24th, 25th, 26th of February. Looking at Dave to see if he thinks that's right, as he's there as well. Yeah, so yeah, come along and bring your friends. Come down, just come and get to see all these great players in action live and first hand. As you know, when you're at home and watching on the stream, you get to see one amazing match. But when you're in the arena, you've got 20, 24 tables, depending on how we set it up for that particular event, of world-class players. So yeah, come on down. Wayne at Tsunami Streaming is we'll make sure you've got a seat for the final. Be good to see you at the final, and obviously we'll see you next week at the World Series. Really looking forward to that event. Yeah, we'll try and get you in at some point. Absolutely. No better place to watch the top players play, in my opinion, than from the commentary box. I've got the best seat in the house. Great view. I look around my screens at the table. Get the atmosphere all around me. I've got multiple cameras, and I get to chat to you guys as well. Yeah, Neil says it. Yeah, I agree. If it lasts a bit longer, you don't mind paying a little bit more. But also, you know, if the upkeep of it's a bit easier as well, you know, especially for a home table. If you were thinking of getting one at home, then you know you don't have to purchase an iron. You just need a brush or ideally a pad. But yeah, so you can save on the cost of that as well. So Craig and Jace are sort of backs against the wall here. They need to win the next 4 frames just to get this into a Blackball shootout. And looks like Craig's had a little, probably a poor contact there. He needed to be another good 3-4 inches there to be able to play. He was looking to play the top yellow, the yellow is nearest, off the black, just to open up that pocket. But the angle he's got, they can still play that shot. But the white's going in the, you know, it'd have to go on and off the cushion, which means having to play it with more pace, which makes the shot a little bit harder, because it would be you're looking to play this with a sort of gentle flick off the black. Yeah, there are the other doubles matches are on now, and you can go on CueScore. We don't have live in play, but we are walking around the arena updating scores as and when we can. Well, this is a good shot from Jace. This yellow must go off the jaw. So if it does, then it is a lovely shot, but this looks super tight. So yeah, CueScore.com, or go to IPAPool.com and follow the live scoring, and that will take you through to CueScore. And you can look up all the events this week. We've got the main event, obviously the big one. We've got the ladies version, which got underway last night. Obviously this doubles event, the seniors event, and the mixed doubles event. So STRN Paul, I agree. This blue cloth has many advantages, but I think for the look and feel we're pushing forward and we're working towards, it's certainly a step in the right direction for that. Yeah, the CueScore will be saying 0-0 just simply because we probably haven't got anyone walking around the arena updating scores. We have a small top table team, and we were in here till 2 AM last night with the finishing off the ladies' matches. So I think a few of the team are just giving themselves a few hours this morning. So we apologise that we haven't got those scores being updated. But when they finish, they will be put on the CueScore. And from my position, I have no idea. I cannot tell from my angle any of the scores. I wondered whether he'd just come back a little bit too far. I didn't think he did, but Jason's called total, so it's a good shot. He considered that for a few minutes. Decided this was the best way. Jason's looking at coming top cushion, side cushion, and it's sort of almost full ball into the yellow, and trying to pot it off the black. High tariff shot, but he looks fairly confident. Thinks the shot's on. It appears to be. So here we go. This could be one of the shots of the match, or could be one of the shots of the tournament, or the day of the tournament. This looks good. Oh, great shot. Great shot. Just looking at Jason's face, he looks like he's unhappy. That looks... yeah, I don't think this... Can we have a quick look at camera 3 and move that round? Let's get your new toy in action, Dave. The other way. There we go. We've got just having a look. Difficult to tell if that black goes. Probably not. So, oh, it does. Great shot. Thanks for the feedback, Neil. That's great. Johnny, just come to one of the tours and get involved. Just come up and you know us, most of us guys anyway. And yeah, if you want to get involved and help, then we'd love to have you on board. Speak to Kev. He's your man. But yeah, always looking for people that are willing to help and want to help push the game in the right direction. Barry's morning, Barry. He's obviously just joined us. Unfortunately, Greg Marsh turned up half an hour late for this match this morning, so that match was awarded to Gareth and Dean without a ball being hit. I did let you all know, just to recap, that they were given a little bit of leeway, a few minutes, 5 maybe 10 before the clock was started, just because it's, we're not trying to be too severe. That was Mel's. He probably left it a couple of minutes for that. But once the clock started, there's no sort of turning back. He was given 5 minutes. They were 1-0 down. 9 minutes, and they were 3-0 down. And 20 minutes, and they were out the tournament, loss of match. He probably was 30 to 35 minutes late for the match, and that was that, unfortunately. A real shame, because that would have been on paper that was a very, very tasty matchup. Yes, Barry, this match, we didn't want to leave the stream empty. It's not ideal. Unfortunately, we've only got ladies, and there's 4 leftover doubles matches because of the scheduling yesterday for this morning. So all the other matches had already been put on. So I quietly asked if this pairing would move at 1-1 in their match. All 4 players were happy to do so, which we really appreciate, because it's really not ideal moving tables mid-match. I think had it been 2-0, 3-0 one way, then maybe it would have been different, but maybe not. I mean, these are all good guys, but all 4 agreed very quickly. Quick delay while we moved them across, and I wouldn't have thought that moves would have had no bearing on the match for these guys, and we're happy they've done that. Good shot from Craig. He had to get into that to control the white. So there's the red over the left middle is his next ball, and every red's got a pocket. So this could quickly be 6-4, and pressure starting to just be transferred back to Neil and Andy. They, having been 6-2 up, the last thing they want is a Blackball shootout. Not ideal. It's, Craig was looking to, I imagine, come. I don't know if he was looking to come inside that, or maybe come narrow on it to play a plant. Either way, he's not worked out for him. He's just finished horrible. Jace has still got a plant, but it's an incredibly thin cut and an incredibly tough shot. Oh, Jace played that really well. When he hit it, he thought he'd made it. Sam, if you want to play in the World Championships, obviously it will be the 2018 version next year, this time next year. Go onto our website. When we get closer to the time, so later on this year, early next year, there'll be lots of information about the World Championships, and you'll be able to apply that way. As it stands at the moment, it's currently open to everyone. So if you pay your entry fee, you could be the early qualifying and have your chance to be on this screen and taking on the best players in the world. Hi Wayne, yeah, if you've not been to one of our events, then you know, if everyone that has been to one of our events, you'd have seen the behind the camera, the amount of equipment that that Dave brings and sets up is incredible and incredibly impressive. We've got some pretty massive lights lighting the arena, and I've not heard anyone, not, you know, in all the time we've been using them, not one player has mentioned those big lights having any effect. Oh, we've had one player apparently since we've been using them that just found those lights to be distracting. I think most have got no issues with it. There was a player beginning of the week that was told, hasn't played on the stream before, was told that he may be playing on the stream, and he was sort of sat in the arena and he sort of was looking at the table thinking, that light appears to be casting shadows in a strange way, and he was worried that it might affect him. But his match didn't get put on the stream, and so he wasn't able to tell. But I think it's one of those things. I think you probably think it's going to, but actually when you get going, no problem at all. I played on the stream, and yeah, had no issues with it at all. Just been joined by the chairman, so let him set himself up and join the discussion. Good morning, Kev. Red. Yep.
Morning. Is it morning?
Morning.
It is morning. Yes. It's all seemed to blend into one at the moment.
Let me just finish off the question I was answering. So absolutely, Wayne, bring your equipment to Middlesbrough next week, and you know, worst case scenario we won't use them, but I'm pretty certain it won't be an issue. So yeah.
Have you answered that one? How do you apply to join the World Championships?
Yeah, we just had a quick chat about that. Said that obviously it'll be for 2018 now, so little bit later this year and early next year, we'll be advertising it and go through our website, and you can enter through our shop, and yeah, you could be out here playing. And someone else has mentioned there will be qualifiers for the event as well, but we won't start thinking about that until this one's finished.
Yeah, around about Monday we'll probably start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Neil Blake now then. How's those hot tubs? Well, he's saying he wishes he's 20 years younger. I mean, some of these guys who are at the top of the tree are not spring chickens. The Rona McCarthy, the Mark Farnsworth, they're been around a long time. Yeah,
and you know, we've got a number of players that are playing seniors and men's, and turning up here as hot favourites to win both events. So age isn't a huge issue.
Not really. Morning, Barry. Barry's on the stream as well. Can't believe you're not in the seniors, Barry. What's up with you? JV. That's John Bourne, not John Burgo.
Yeah. Johnny was asking how people could get involved. If they wanted to get involved with the tour and help out, and sort of told him to come up to one of the events and have a word with you. And we're always looking for people that are willing to get involved and push the sport in the right direction.
Yep. If you get yourself here, we'll get the contracts drawn up straight away.
Yep. You can forget sleep.
Yep, sleep is definitely overrated during this week.
David Chesham, no shot clock, unfortunately. Maybe in the future, when we've got 20 or 30 referees at every event, we can have a shot clock. But unfortunately, we don't. We're in a situation where we have a shot clock for the finals. I think doubles is one of those events where the beginning of each visit there is a few extra seconds taken, just because you're trying to discuss sometimes a whole finish with your opponent, because you can't talk after that. So the first visit in doubles can take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think people have to appreciate that. There's a lot at stake here, and these guys are all wanting to win. They're not just going to get run around the table and not think about what they're doing. So, like you say, doubles, you've got two brains, so it just probably takes twice as long to decide what the shot is. But it's usually pretty quick once they've agreed what they're doing.
Been asked who's next on the stream. We've got a great matchup in the last 16 of the Open event to bring you next. We've got Scotland's number one. The young lad that's winning everything at the moment in Scotland, and in the team events across the world is Liam Dunster versus Ben Davies,
who put out the 2016 now ex-champion Gareth Hibbert.
I think we can give him another 2 days.
Can we?
Yeah, I think he's got 2 more days. I'm calling him a champ for 2 more days.
Right, but that's fine. The hot tubs are going well, Neil Blake. That's good news. I think hot tubs should be sponsoring IPA events, don't you?
Absolutely, hand in hand. I think the committee, every member of the committee should probably get one complimentary at the very least.
We'll have to disclose it, of course.
Yeah,
but we'll be happy to do that. So I'll just send you my address, Neil. If you can get that in the post, first class, that'd be great. I will widen the letterbox to accommodate.
Okay, so we're in the closing moments of this match. What time does the next match start? Is it?
Well, it's down. I've just been speaking with the top table. The next match is down for 12 o'clock, but I have said that the next match will be 10 minutes after this match is finished. So we're going to try and avoid all the big gaps that we sort of had yesterday. So we're going to be hopefully a lot more slicker today. Hopefully no technical gremlins that we had issues with yesterday, the old gremlins.
Yeah, there was one or two throughout the day.
Dave's got a little wry smile on his face.